Start off our conversation on the telecast with me is Mr. T.S. Krishnamurthy, is the former Chief Election Commissioner of India. Thank you very much for joining me. And my first question to you about this protest that has been launched by political parties sitting in the opposition. The number one question they are raising, sir, is why are these electoral rolls being revised now, right ahead of the elections in Bihar? In 2003, we saw the electoral rolls being revised all across the country. So why is this state limited revision taking place? What is the reason behind the Election Commission only revising the electoral rolls in the state of Bihar?
Is this question addressed to me?
Yes.
Well, as far as electoral roll is concerned, I think it is the primary responsibility of the Election Commission to ensure its accuracy. Though there are other stakeholders who are also to ensure that it is credibly accurate. Unfortunately, the revision of the electoral rolls has been subject to a lot of criticism from various political parties, particularly in some states, including the recent Maharashtra elections. So the Election Commission chose to have an intensive revision. As far as why it is being done or why that particular timing has been done, I may not be able to answer, only the Election Commission may be able to answer. But the intention is obviously honorable to ensure the credibility of the electoral roll.
What do you make of the charges that have been levied by the opposition party, saying that the Election Commission is working at the behest of the BJP to eliminate and delete voters' names from the list ahead of the elections simply because it benefits the BJP? It wants to eliminate voters who are not going to vote for the BJP and the JDU alliance.
I wish I could give you a more appropriate answer. Unfortunately, the criticism of the Election Commission is very frequently, this particular criticism of Election Commission being closer to a particular party or so, is not new. It has been there for a number of years, probably in the last 10, 15 years or 20 years, it has been very common to criticize. Sometimes even personal commissioners' personal criticisms are also appeared. That doesn't really bother because, after all, there is a constitutional responsibility to ensure free elections. It is the Election Commission which has to take a decision as to what steps are to be taken to ensure it's free and fair elections. There are always some parties who will appreciate, some parties will criticize. So long as the goal of free and fair election is the primary focus of the Election Commission, I think these criticisms are bound to be there. They have to be met with proper communication with all the political parties. I think there should be frequent consultation and cooperation in communication so that at least some reasonable degree of cordiality is maintained.
There has been another allegation that has been leveled by the opposition parties. They say this is a backdoor NRC that the BJP is exercising through the Election Commission. There are about 3 crore of the 8 crore population in Bihar that is eligible to vote in the upcoming elections, and these these 3 crore voters are new voters that have been born after 1987. And what the opposition is contending over here is that these voters have to show additional documents. They have to show the birth and the residence of the parents as well. Do you think this argument holds ground?
Let's be very clear. What is the responsibility given to the Election Commission? The Representation of People's Act clearly says only the citizens of India over a particular age are qualified to be voters. So if in the process of verification of the voter roll, the citizenship is also verified, I see no reason why we should criticize it. I agree. There are apprehensions among the political parties that this kind of think the last moment will create some problem. So my own suggestion would be, if there are such doubtful cases, let them be segregated and let the political parties take it up with the Election Commission, maybe in a week's time or 15 days' time, and then tell them these are the issues which we want it to be looked into and satisfy that these names are properly included or excluded. There should be a proper communication.
Right. Also, you know, just a few days ago, there was another uproar. The opposition parties, I think the Congress leaders had reached the Election Commission's headquarters. And I think as per protocol, there were only 2 of the leaders who were representatives of the party were allowed to go inside and meet the authority spokespersons, representatives. And this did not go down very well with the Congress. Now, do you think this is a legitimate cause for raising protest, or is the opposition, you know, at this time fault finding just for the heck of it?
I am absolutely apolitical. I have no particular leanings towards any political party, but I wish to appeal to the political parties as well as the Election Commission to segregate these doubtful cases and then discuss why they should be either included or excluded. There should be a proper communication channel on this regard, but it should not go to the streets and then say that the Election Commission's intentions are dishonorable. It is a question where proper consultation and communication should at least along the minds of the voters as well as the political parties.
Sir, do you think in the recent past, a lot of aspersions have been cast on the Election Commission and its credibility and by opposition parties? Do you think there is some merit to it? And why do you think the Election Commission is being targeted times, and especially when state elections or Lok Sabha elections take place?
I've just completed a book called Beyond the Ballot: Paradoxes of Democracy, which is to be released in about a month's time. This kind of trends are there in many countries. The Election Commission, particularly about its neutrality and so on. It is not something new only to this country. But what is important is there must be some kind of a proper communication to remove the apprehensions in the minds of the voters as well as the political parties. There is no point in saying that the exercise is unwarranted or unjustified. What is more important is, if there are flaws, they must be pointed out to the Election Commission, and the Election Commission should take necessary remedial action.